I'm sitting here contemplating what to talk about in this video. And I want to talk about a little bit of everything. I tend to overthink. So I said I might as well just record. And the one thing that keeps sticking out to me is I feel like right now, I'm just really aware. It happens every now and then, but when I really slow down with a lot of intention, like really slow down, like not rush through the day, I start to pay more attention. And of course, we start to see things, more patterns, more little things. Yeah, so I start to see more numbers, things like that. I saw I think maybe 444 show up like 3 times in less than a minute. So it's no coincidence in that. But back to being aware. I just made some notes the other day, and I put a note down that says awareness is saying I'm miserable and not always okay. So I think sometimes we do affirmations, or we always want to be so positive that the other day I just kept trying to tell myself, like, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay, I'm okay. Like, I'm having a hard time saying it right now because it's such a lie. it's such a lie. I can't really say I'm okay. I'm not okay with where I am. But where I am is where I'm supposed to be, but also where I am is not where I'm supposed to stay. Wow, that was a lot. Okay, so I'm not okay with where I am. Where I am is not where I want to be. I forgot what I said. And I don't know. And I know that I'm going somewhere else. So I guess I'm always in a rush for change, to be out of the feeling that is right now. Actually, I'm not anxious or anything. I'm pretty content right now. I'm in a neighborhood that has, some beautiful houses, luxurious neighborhood at that. Like, I'm sitting across the street from like $1 million home. And like, those are the visions that I have. It's wild. Because sometimes I'll sit back and say, it's like, why do I have such rich dreams or rich visions? And I told a friend the other day, I was like, there are these luxury items, things I really want. And she got on my case about not really, that I shouldn't want or go after material things. And she didn't let me finish. Like, that's not all that I desire. I desire spiritual growth, mental growth, physical growth, simply for the sake of, I guess, my being, who I am. The growth is necessary. But also, I know that my 8-year-old is watching me. She watches my every single move. I mean, my every single move. She tries to correct me on so many things. She likes for me to avoid confrontation. Sometimes she wants me to be confrontational. I mean, we have a one-of-a-kind relationship. We get a lot of looks. We do. I know a lot of children walk away with their parents, and I know they got plenty to say about us. And I told her that when she was young. I was like, we're going to appear weird to so many people, and that is okay. It's going to be a lot of people that don't understand us, and that is okay. Like, weird is good. But no, back to what I was saying. Awareness. I'm finally at a place to where I was telling someone, I feel like I've neglected myself for the past 7, 8 years. My little one, she just turned 8 years old. We have the same birthday, January. And I was like, and some of the times it was intentional. Like the neglect was intentional. I was like, I can do without and I can give to her. And then sometimes it was like, well, give to both of you. And things were like, no, give to her. So I always gave to her before I, gave to myself. I made a sacrifice. Like I locked my hair so I could put more time into her hair. As a matter of fact, she has like a standing hair appointment, and I take care of my own hair, which is cool. It's actually, quite liberating that I'm able to find, I'm in a point in life to where I don't have to go see a stylist. I manage my own hair. I mean, that's big for me. If you kind of know where I came from and how I grew up, it was always go see somebody else about your hair. That's another story within itself. I'm trying to get into a deeper place of noticing what I need. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it has something to do with my astrological sign, Aquarius. I'm not sure. I listen to a lot of astrology. I don't know if it's just who I am, but I definitely put others before myself. I put others before myself, and I'm over it. I've had to tell my 8-year-old no a couple of times in the past week, because I'm like, no, like I'm literally ready to go this time, or no, I need to get back because I need to do this for me. And it's okay. It's been a little difficult to do. A lot of parents tell their children no more often than not, and you can really tell in the relationship. But I've had to explain to my 8-year-old that over the past weekend we're a team, the two of us. And when she's combative towards me, we're not being a good team. When I'm combative towards her, we're not being a good team. And I asked her if she would like to play in a solo sport. And so she's like, I'm not playing in a sport at all. And I was like, yes, we are. We are a team in this. You have to work with me and I have to work with you in order to move forward, because we see so many relationships that are at odds to where most of the parents don't even listen to their children. And I've heard parents comment before, like, I listen to mine way too much. But if you knew how emotionally intelligent my 8-year-old is not your average 8-year-old. I've started conversations and I've caught myself and I'm like, wait, why am I having this conversation with you? And she completely understands. I don't know the whole conversation, but I think I have some of those conversations with her because, one, she doesn't judge. 2, I don't know. Whatever she says back a lot of times is unbiased. I don't know. It's brilliant for, an 8-year-old to have emotional intelligence like that. That's all about that. But no, let me tell you something else she did. So this part right here is about more so manifestation. And she amazes me with the things that she manifests. It's just wow. The things that she gets, or the things that people say yes to her. And I'm like, that would happen to nobody else. It amazes me. I just want her to be more in her power of knowing who and what she is. That's what I want her to know, and not to abuse it. She's very good at manipulating. Like, she's a master manipulator. She uses it on me, but not so much on others, but I have seen her use it on others. However, this past weekend, she was at tennis practice, and the coach, I think he's like college, he's a college kid, and the children really like him. So he asked one little girl, he said, can I have like some of your cookies? And the little girl said no. And he was like, why not? You got more than enough to share. And she was like, no. She was like, I don't know you like that. She said, I'll share with her, as in her was my 8-year-old. She said, but I won't share with you. No reason at all. I feel like it was just only child syndrome. I don't know what the reason was. So the college kid that was the coach, he asked my 8-year-old, he said, well, can I have some of yours? And she was like, well, she said, well, what do you go give me? She said, we can exchange for something. And so he said, okay, well, what's the exchange? She said, $10. He said, okay. Do you know that he cashed apped her $10 for one gummy? Not a handful, but for one gummy. He came over, made sure that he got my telephone number right, and it amazed me. He paid $10 for one gummy and didn't care. He didn't mind. And the other girl, the other little girl, her mouth dropped. She was like, but, and he was like, see what you missed out on? So that was a proud moment for me, that the child in me would have shared with him, but I felt like my little one, I don't know, she knew her power, she knew her worth, her value, and she was like, I'll exchange, we can barter. And so the barter was money. And I was proud of her, because she is a kind person. That's just what she chose at that point in time. Another thing that was manifested, I'm sorry, my allergies. I'm like working at, so right now I'm doing Instacart, like on the side. It's really wild. And I'm also taking this course. I won't mention it now because I feel like I jinx myself when I say what I'm working on. All I'll say is I'm taking this course, and I promised myself I couldn't buy any more courses. I've gone through course after course after course, like the whole shiny object syndrome. And this time I'm like, I can do this and I will do this. I cannot buy any more courses. However, the course that I'm in, I've already started. I started working on a project, but I'm like, I just wish there was a simpler way to do this. So when you really want a thing, don't put the limit of money on it. Because I found a loophole in order to get to a lot more money. A loophole was created so that I could have all of these resources. That's all I'll say. When you really want a thing, the universe will give it to you. Not only that, if it's for your good. So it's not just because you want a thing, but what I've learned is if it's for your good, you will get it. And sometimes you can still get it because there's a lesson to be learned. And I think deep down, your soul knows there's a lesson to be learned. So they're like, give it to me. And you think that it was for your bad, but it was a lesson to be learned. And if you don't learn a lesson, you'll keep repeating it. So back to what I'm saying. I said I wouldn't buy any more courses. However, I felt like that was the easier way to do the thing that I was doing. So I paused in what I was doing. And I do this a lot. Like I get real excited about something and I'll work at it, then I'll stop. And I was just like, I just wish there was an easier way. I found another course, let's just say that. Another course for the exact desire that I had. It was an easier way to do exactly what I needed done. Not only that, I had a subscription that was about to expire. That subscription was like $80. And I'm like, I do not want to pay for that subscription right now. In the new course that I wanted, I didn't know it was in there, but that guy was like, he showed me a free way to do it. So I'm going to try the free way instead of renewing my subscription. So already in this new course, it saved me money going forward if I choose to do it that way. Not only that, I didn't really want to spend the money right now. And so I spent the money to get that course, maybe Sunday or Monday. And here's what's really weird. It kind of blew my mind and I was so amazed. I just thought about it today before the video. The tip that I received yesterday was adjusted. So they increased my tip after I left, and it was the exact amount of what that course costs. So there have been times if I don't want to spend money on something, even though it's something I could really use, like I've tried to budget a lot better here lately. I could really have used this and I didn't buy it immediately, so it wasn't an impulse, and I waited. And yesterday, I'm like, wow, I really do believe that was the sign, because it was a weird amount, and it was the exact amount for that course. So it paid for itself, which I don't know, it just blew my mind. Anyways, couple of other things I noticed during the past week, and I'll just, start going over things, and then maybe I'll do if I still got time or space on the camera, I'll do like a robotic affirmation. So, over the weekend, when I was sitting in her tennis practice, I mentioned a couple of things, and I do this a lot. Like, I have ideas, I share them all the time. And I was just telling, like, her tennis coach, he's in college, and I was like, how much do you charge for lessons? He was like, I don't. And I'm like, but why? You're in college. You know exactly what you're doing. He said, I just never thought of it. And so I asked him where he was, where he's located, and he's like 45 minutes from me. And I was like, I will meet you, halfway. And she really likes you as an instructor, like really, really likes you. All the children talk about how much they like him. I was like, you can turn this into a business. We don't realize like what we have. He already has the skill of playing tennis and and I was like, you don't have to wait till you finish college to generate income. That's what we don't teach. And I've told my little one, like, she's much into sports, and I'm like, if for whatever reason you don't go pro, you instruct. And the good thing about instructing is you can actually instruct multiple people at one time to increase your value, actually, your price. But another day for another video. Anyways, he was like, I didn't think about that. And I was like, well, let's talk about it. I'll meet you. So we're going to work at that. I'm going to try to get her with him so that she can practice more, because I like for her to learn from different instructors, because she learns new things. And it kind of switches up her brain, not to, just get used to one style and one way. Another thing happened. There was another like middle school girl in front of me, and she said something, and I was like, why don't you just babysit? And she was like, oh, I didn't think about that. And her mom was like, I just told you a couple of weeks ago you could babysit. I was like, ma'am, you can babysit. I was like, it's so easy. All you got to do is supervise and make sure the children don't set the house on fire, don't run anywhere like anything like that. I was like, you're basically just a human security camera. And she was like, yeah, I could, babysit. I was like, I just wish, we teach our children you don't have to wait till you're 23, 24, 25 to generate income. I'm a little, sideways when it comes to college, and how I feel like it's a waste of a lot of people's time, but it's pushed on a lot of us. And there are so many other things that we're talented towards. So I just gave, those two young people that there are things that they can actually be doing now. Just like YouTube is something I feel like I kept putting it off because I felt like it wasn't, good enough. But I'm like, here I am doing it. And one day maybe I'll say something to save somebody's life. Like, I've been through a lot of things, and I think sometimes we do go through things so that we can share the experience to spare somebody else if they choose. One other thing, Friday night I went out, and it was surprising because I'm sitting there with it's a young girl. She's 20, and she's dating a man that's 35 years old, and she's so convinced. She keeps saying, but I'm so mature for my age. And her aunt is telling her, and the aunt's friend, they're like, no, he's using you because you're young. That's it. And so I'm trying to be quiet, and they like, ask her, as in me. And I'm like, that ain't for you. And so the more they started like nagging her on why she should leave, why she should get out, they involved me in the conversation. And when I walked away, like, I felt some kind of way, because I'm like, you know what? Nothing we say to that child is going to make her walk away from that man until it actually gets bad enough. Like, I've been in that situation before, and until something like, I think until your life is on the line, you don't walk away from some situations, because I truly don't know why she's there. Other than like love has her stuck in a place that others don't approve of. That's it. And if we're in something, we're there for a reason. We're there for a reason. Like, it's going to sound bad, but like no matter how much it hurts, we're there for a reason. And we have to pull ourselves out. However, that goes back to being aware. I was never aware growing up that a lot of times Like what keeps an abusive woman from leaving a relationship? Not much. It's just like her and that door, but it's all mindset. So that 20-year-old, her mind has got her stuck in that relationship like she needs that man. And like I say, I truly don't know why she's there, but I wish I would have skipped out on the advice. It's just something, she's going to have to learn on her own. And I don't like the way her aunt, talks to her, talks down on her. She wants her to use the man for money. And I mean, it's just not a good message. It's not good energy overall. On to the next thing. And this is part of my affirmation, is that every problem has a solution, or solutions. Every problem has solutions. And I had to keep telling myself that every problem has solutions. Almost like, really and truly, there are no problems then. If every problem has a solution, is there really a problem? So every problem has a solution. And my soul searches for the best. Every problem has a solution, and my soul searches for the best. So it's kind of like a GPS, I would like to say. Like, you're looking for a signal on what's the best thing. Sometimes you got to try a few things to get to where you're going. Like, a lot of times GPS, it'll offer you a few different routes, but it'll tell you pretty much like what's on those routes. This is traffic. This will take you a longer way. This has less stops. And sometimes that's life. But the point is, it has multiple solutions. So every problem has a solution, and my soul finds the best solution. Last but not least, thank you to anybody that stuck through the video this far. I've had this book for years, and something was like, just pick it up and carry it with you. It's called Transurfing in 78 Days. And the author is, I guess I'm going to spell it. V-A-D-I-M Zealand. V-A-D-I-M Zealand. So this is a book once again, but there's a larger book on reality transurfing. Look that one up. Reality transurfing. It's much more extensive, but it's definitely about manifesting. It gets deeper into the thoughts are things, and it helps you it really breaks down how thoughts are things. Like I said, I was amazed that I ended up getting that tip that equaled the amount for that course. Anyways, I opened the book up today, and I used paper clips, so really and truly last week I was focused on, number 22 in the book, which is declaring intention. And this one opened up to, it said, love yourself. And I'm like, oh, wow. So I'm just going to read exactly what it says. If you don't love yourself, no one else will. And I stopped. And it was just like, if you don't love yourself, no one else will. And what I took in immediately was, what you don't do for yourself, no one else will. No one else will. What you don't do for yourself, no one else will. Sometimes, other people will help out. But it's just like, if you don't love and take care of you, if you don't love yourself, no one else will. And so I guess this is why, I continue putting myself on the shelf. And I continue why am I not in a relationship yet? And then there's a tiny voice that's like, you're still not ready. You're still not ready. And I'm sitting here trying to manifest a partner, but I feel like one is really close. The one I feel like is really close, somehow I feel like it's really not for me. There is one that's really close, but I feel like something about him is not really for me. So I'm being honest with myself, and at a point I'm ready for everything to be removed that is not for me, for my greater good. Anything that's holding me back, let it be removed. And I've kind of always been afraid to say that and admit that, but anything that is not for me, remove it so that I can press on, so that I can get to my higher self, so that I can feel lighter. so that I can be of better service to myself first and to be a better service to others. I know it's a lot of work that's to be done. Back to the book. If you don't love yourself, no one else will. And what's more, you will never be happy. You will never be happy. Besides, and I keep searching for, if I had $1 billion right now, like what would literally make me happy? I mean, the only thing I would think to do right now is travel. I just keep wanting to travel. I just want to go away and know that I can spend any amount of money, and I just want to travel. And for a second, I just want to keep traveling. I want to get to one place, travel to another, travel to another. I'm not really in a rush to come back here. I feel like there's so much to see and experience. I just want to travel. Nothing's really stopping me. Nope. It says, and conflict between the heart and mind reflects negatively on a person's appearance and character. I'm going to read it one more time. If you don't love yourself, no one else will. And what's more, you will never be happy. Any conflict between the heart and mind reflects negatively on a person's appearance and character. That is so deep. Because that's why I said I need to start taking better care of myself. Like I just took a look and I was like, this is not it. I took a look in the mirror and I said, this is not it. But I was like, let me not be so hard on myself. So I told myself that I would simply get more physical activity each and every day. And I've been doing well for about the past 2 weeks. The past 2 nights, I know a big improvement is going to bed earlier. I procrastinate going to sleep. I procrastinate waking up. I just need to go to bed earlier. I'm also aware and I guess accepting my, I guess ADD. I don't even like saying it. But I know my attention is everywhere. I know there's a superpower in ADD. A lot of times we find answers, not just answers, but we find the simplest answer. Because we're ready to move on to something else. So it's like we're more solution oriented. I just have a lot of things, that go through my mind. But appearance and character would definitely tell you about whether a person loves themselves and how they treat themselves. A little more, I highlighted, let's see, above all, love yourself, and only then pay attention to the positive qualities of others. I'm going to skip ahead. Go inside, accept yourself as you really are. Go inside, accept yourself as you really are, and assert the right to be right. Go inside, accept yourself as you really are, and assert the right to be right. Then you will have something of which you can be proud and a reason to respect yourself. I'm going to skip ahead. Inner importance is present in forcing yourself to follow other people's standards. Inner importance is present in forcing yourself to follow other people's standards. To love yourself, kick outer importance off the pedestal and give up the idol worship. Who is stopping you from setting your own standards? Nobody. Just don't share them. Just don't share them. Let others chase after you instead. Let others chase after you instead. Drop your own inner importance and let yourself go. Yes, surrender. Give yourself the luxury of having shortcomings. Being kind to yourself, I definitely have to work on. And focus your attention on your strengths. So we're not really trying to work on the weakness. Like, let's work on the strengths. And let's focus on the strengths. Focus on the strengths. Oh, that reminds me. There was a quote I came across, and it said, well, this is the last piece. It says, if I'm going to beat myself up for the way that I struggle, I should be at peace with the things that I'm good at. That goes right along with what I read. I'm going to read it one more time. If I'm going to beat myself up for the way that I struggle, I should be at peace with the things that I'm good at. We're all great at something. So let's focus on the strengths and move forward. Thank you for watching the video. I don't edit. I do my best to record in the moment. Once again, thank you.